This is the toilet paper aisle. And this used to be the soap. So we just got finished grabbing some essentials from our local grocers. We went in and we got some basics, and they are amazing in there. They have processes in place so that they make sure that the stock that they have goes farther for everyone. They have limits on water. Did you see limits on anything else? I think it was
on some toilet paper.
Oh, right. Toilet paper, paper towels, water, stuff like that. They're consistently busy today, and it's 12:30 on a Friday afternoon. So we're just going to get a few things, but because of everything going on, if you don't get what you need now, you're not going to get it. So, I mean, we're not stockpiling by any means, but we are getting some essentials that we need to last us the next couple weeks or so, except, you know, milk expires soon and things like that don't last very long. So we're just getting what we need for our normal routine.
So a few days later, we decided to go back to the same store to get a few more items, and you can see that there were a lot of empty shelves. There were a lot of people that were concerned about their groceries and not being able to get what they needed, and we wanted to make sure we could get what we needed for the week, so we went back.
So I'm at work today, but it feels really weird. I don't know how to feel or what to do, because it feels like the whole world is gonna stop, and I don't know what to do with that. So I'm just trying to do everything that I can to keep my mind occupied on work, which is really hard to do. I was getting ready this morning, and all I could think of was, I feel like I'm constantly in an episode of The Walking Dead where I'm just like waiting for the next thing to happen. Just trying to keep my mind in a good place and not let it wander too far. So I'm gonna try and get through work and see how it goes.
I'm just going through town right now, and I'm passing a ton of restaurants, and on all of their reader boards it's saying messages of we deliver, call for pickup or takeout. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is big. I mean, all these restaurants are having to shut down and can only do dine out, like takeout or delivery. A lot of businesses downtown are not able to open their doors, and they have to resort to the same measures. Stores that wouldn't typically offer things like that, like the bookstore and the toy store and an oil and vinegar shop, and we have countless tasting rooms for wine and craft beer and even mead, and they're all not able to open their doors for customers because of the virus. It's still so weird. I mean, I'm still going to work. I'm going home from work right now, but we're not in close contact with multiple people, especially the general public. We're a smaller operation, and especially for me, I'm not in a room with other people. And if we're supposed to limit our gatherings to either 10 or 15 or 25 people, I think we're still safe because we don't have that many people working in one confined area. They're kind of all spread out. So for now, still continuing to go to work, just being hyper aware of what I touch during the day and then how I touch my face. It's so bizarre to think about how often, oh, and there's 4 UPS trucks, and they're all like 6 feet away from each other. The social distancing with the UPS gathering. So like, you know, if you have to itch your nose, like how do you do that safely and not be concerned? And it's just like, it's just crazy how hyper aware I am now of what I'm touching on outside surfaces and then what I touch on my person. It's just kind of like, so weird, so crazy. They're talking about stimulus packages for Americans that earn less than a certain dollar amount. They're talking about bigger shutdowns, longer shutdowns, school closures until the end of the school year. Here we are right now, almost about mid-March, and they're talking about closing school through June, like to the end of the school year. And there's just a lot up in the air. Viruses could be peaking in 45 days. It is crazy out right now. The gas stations are starting to get packed. People are filling up gas cans, filling up their cars. I just topped off. I was at a half tank. I wanted to top it off. I mean, I think that makes sense for people to top off. It's starting to get to that point where people are getting into lockdown mode, where they're wanting to make sure they have everything they need to stay home and not have to go out. It's starting to feel a little scary. I'm not scared to go out on my own to the grocery store or anything like that, but it's feeling scary, meaning there's a lot of people that are starting to prepare almost in a panicky way, like buying out the gun stores and things like that. I don't think we're at that point, but I can definitely tell that there's a dramatic shift in people out. There's not as much traffic. There's not as much activity. People are keeping their distances from each other, as from what I can tell. I'm going down 3rd Street right now, which is typically a pretty hopping place on the weekends, Saturday morning especially, because people want to go out for breakfast. However, you're not able to do that anymore. So I'm just focusing today on getting as much into our storage unit as possible, and we'll go from there.
So more and more in the media, people were talking about wearing face masks and the shortage of PPE in the healthcare system. And so Garrett wanted to get the sewing machine out and start making some things. And he made this prototype mask, and then we went from there and developed a pretty good pattern and started making a whole bunch to send all over the country, as well as to give out in our community to our local healthcare professionals that were accepting them and other people that were susceptible to the illness more so than others.
So we're in the grocery store right now, and it feels really weird to be shopping wearing a mask. We do see quite a few other people wearing masks as well, but it's just really weird because normally you don't wear a mask in a grocery store because, you know, you're concealing your identity. So I don't know if crime is going to go up because of this or not, but it's just really weird. I'm in the chip aisle right now, and it's looking pretty sparse. So there's not a whole bunch of chips in this section. You can definitely tell what people favorite, because there's mostly the healthier options and the baked versions over there, and then there's, I guess pretzels aren't that popular, but the regular chips are pretty much gone.
It got to the point where the news was recommending sanitizing certain surfaces and certain items. We decided to sanitize all of our groceries when we got home from the store that day. We took sanitizing wipes and wiped down all of the plastic containers and paper boxes, anything that wasn't fresh produce. We did wash those, but we didn't get too crazy doing that. We just mostly rinsed them off. It's hard to know what to do and what not to do in these times because there are so many different conflicting reports out there, but we're just trying to do what we can to stay healthy and keep our family safe.